Hello, and welcome back to my channel. If it's the first time that you're watching me, please do hit that subscribe button to help me grow my YouTube family. So today I am filming the very first Real Talk episode for 2020 on my channel. And for my very first Real Talk episode for 2020, I am going to weigh in on the recent controversy in the Philippines showbiz industry regarding Sarah Geronimo's wedding and that whole controversy with her mother. So I know like all of you, all the netizens, social media is like really hating on the mother. And I just wanted to take this opportunity, though no one asked me to give you my perspective as a mother of two adult daughters. So this video is really to share like my input on the challenges of raising daughters, and also a little bit of sharing on how I think I successfully managed to raise daughters. So basically this video is for all of you mothers out there whose daughters are growing, or for you newlyweds who plan on having children, or for anyone else who's just chismosa or curious. Okay, so the challenges of raising daughters in today's world, let's get into it. Okay, so as mentioned, I am going to give my whole unsolicited 2 cents on that whole controversy behind Sarah Geronimo's secret wedding and the relationship and the strains she had with her mother accepting her now husband. And like I said, like there's been a lot of hate for the mother on social media, and I totally get it. I mean, I totally get where the hate is coming from. After all, Sarah is 31 years old, 31. And I mean, her husband now seems like a pretty good catch, right? So I do get the hate for her being unreasonably strict and just plain unreasonable, and allegedly too selfish with Sarah's income, although I mean that's not confirmed, but if it is indeed true, then yes, of course that's not fair. But I also understand where the mother is coming from, because as a mother you do have a tendency, or at least like I have the tendency, to be really very protective over my daughters, with my daughters.
Super protective. Yeah.
And let me try to explain why that can happen sometimes. As a female having daughters, you can see yourself in your daughters because you've been there, you've been in that stage that your daughters were in. And if you're someone like me who has made like a lot of mistakes in life, you feel like you've already made the mistakes for them. You've already made all of those mistakes and you've learned those hard lessons, and you just really want to protect them from all of that. You just really want to like warn them, and you just really want a better life for them in all aspects. And I'm not just talking about marriage and relationships, but you want a better life for them in absolutely all aspects. You want their lives to be much better than yours. So in that sense, I can really understand mothers who are very protective. Now, the person that you're going to marry, the person that your daughter is going to marry, is really going to change the life of your daughter. It's going to shape her entire future. When she gets into a relationship with someone, that someone could be her potential husband. So that's why you also tend to be super protective of who she's going to have a relationship with. Okay, so I heard rumors that like Sarah's parents weren't happy with her now husband because allegedly he's not as rich as she is, or the issue maybe was that he wasn't as financially stable as they would like him to be. So I don't know if any of that is true or whatever. I don't know any of the details. I mean, to me, he does seem like a pretty good catch. I mean, kung sa akin, pwede na yun. But I also just want to like maybe sort of defend the parents, not completely, because obviously I don't know the story, but I mean, I just want to say that the financial stability of the guy that your daughter is going to marry, it matters. I think of myself as quite progressive in how I think about other aspects in life, but in a marriage, I think like for me, the roles of a husband and wife, I'm very traditional about that the husband should be the one to support the wife financially, or at least they should be equal, but the wife should never be like the primary breadwinner. We can debate that all you want, but like I said, I'm traditional at least in that aspect. And as a mother, you just want your daughters to have a comfortable life. You don't want them to have the struggles that you did, if indeed you had them, like myself. While the dude doesn't have to be super rich, he doesn't have to be a billionaire, you do want someone who's financially stable for your daughter, because that is going to dictate their whole future. I mean, let's be realistic. Money makes the world go round. Money can't buy you happiness. but it will dictate the quality of your lifestyle and what exactly you are able to do in life. It's just the reality of the world. Now, I also have a son who's still very young, but I think my whole approach to him is going to be completely different because he is the guy, okay? So I think the way I'm shaping him now is really to be the breadwinner of his future family. When approving who he dates, the financial background of the girl is not going to be a major issue. And I'm just being real here, okay? Like, you can say I'm sexist or whatever, but I'm just being real. So that's just me and my 2 cents on that. We can have different opinions, but that is my opinion. And that is why I am very protective of who my girls date. But of course, you know, I still believe in being reasonable. I think medyo exag naman yung mom ni Sarah because she is 31 years old and the guy does seem to be a good catch. I mean, ano pa bang gusto niya? And in fact, like when this whole controversy erupted, my eldest daughter, China, who's 22 years old, she asked me like, Mom, what if that happened to us? And I was like, I wouldn't let that happen to us. I wouldn't put you in that situation. And then she laughed at me and she said, but what if it was, and then she mentioned one of her ex-boyfriends. And then I had to think about it. And I'll get to that story in a little while. So now I just want to share with you like how I have managed the challenges of raising daughters. Everybody asks me all of the time, like, do you allow them to have boyfriends? At what age will you allow them to date? Etc. So let me tell you how I did it. And let me start by saying that my daughters, luckily, very luckily for me, they came out very successful, smart, and most importantly, obedient. I'm very, very lucky that they never rebelled like the way I did when I was a teenager, and very unlike also all of my friends during that time. Talagang malayo sila sa kung paano ako and kung paano yung friends ko at that time. Okay, I'm a very lucky woman. My eldest is now 22, as I keep mentioning, and her entire life there was only one instance where we had like a very major disagreement, where our relationship was very strained because of a guy that she insisted to date.
Cut that out. Or at least put like a
Yes. Okay, Dallas, don't say that anymore.
Why?
So thankfully, that episode didn't last very long and she came to her senses, thank God. And everything's been okay since then. So I'm gonna tell you now like how exactly protective I am over my girls and like what was my strategy. I believe in being very strict while the girls are young. In high school, my girls were not allowed to go out much. They'd be one of those girls in the group that couldn't go out with their friends just anytime or anywhere. Especially with China, because she was the one always asking permission. She had a very, very hard time. Every time that she asked permission was like a big production number. We'd have like crying episodes. Crying episodes.
Can we not expose me in this video? I feel like this video is just all about exposing me.
Like, nagging episodes, all of these episodes. Okay, but I just felt that she wasn't ready and I was very protective at that time because my mommy radar was very strong. Okay, at that time, I was still very young myself. Our age gap is not very large, so my mommy radar is very strong. I could like really literally sense the guys who liked her and who she liked, and they were all just in a very small group, so I didn't let her like go out of town with them or basically do anything much, but all the rest of the group did. Okay, but I don't think I was too unreasonable because like when she was already like 4th year high school, like going into college, she'd ask permission to go to the mall with a certain guy and I would let her, but of course she had a chaperone and that chaperone was me. Like I'd really literally tag along with them, but keeping like a 5-meter distance, I think, or I'd just be in the same mall. Like for example in Mega Mall, she knows that I'm there, they're there ice skating, and I'll walk past every now and then to check that they're still there, but I'd be there. Yes, it's tiring, but you know, you gotta do that kind of stuff. It's an investment in your daughter's life. So from being very strict in high school, she graduated successfully, got into a good college, and she had always been like very obedient. Okay, never ever gave me like major problems or anything. So when she got into college, I let her have more fun. Okay, slowly I started to let go. And this is what I recommend as well. Slowly you have to let go. You can't like be that kind of controlling and in your face and super strict forever. So in college, I started to let go as the years passed. When she graduated, I think I was very, very lenient already. She had she had a boyfriend, I let them go and date without me as a chaperone. What I never allowed though, and still until today, is traveling with the boyfriend or like a sleepover with a boyfriend. Until now and for many more years to come, I'm still not going to allow that. But I would say that I've been pretty reasonable. So to answer many people's question, yes, once they are in college, I do allow them to have boyfriends as long as their boyfriends are mommy approved. So now my eldest is already working and everything. She's financially independent from me, but I still give her guidance. We still live in the same house. She only has one night out a week. And if she comes home past 10 p.m., that's considered a night out. So my second daughter, who's now 18, has more things to go through. And because I've had all this experience with my 22-year-old, I feel that I am so much more better equipped to guide my second daughter, Romaine. So for me, basically, that's it, right? You can be strict, but eventually you will have to let go. But that doesn't mean that you stop giving them guidance or advice, especially based from your own experience. Yep, so basically that's it. If you want to hear more about this topic or any other parenting topics, please let me know in the comments, or you can just send me a personal message. Okay, so that's all we have time for this week. Please do leave a like if you like this video or if you found it interesting. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!